On 25th of April, there was an incident in Google Cloud in EU9 region, which is a Paris region, where the whole GCP region went offline. On your screen, you can see the detail about this incident, and I will also put the link to it in video's description so that you could follow along. But after this incident, it got me thinking about the region and all that availability zoning in different cloud providers. I tried to search in Google Cloud's documentation on their website and also in general in GCP. I even asked ChatGPT about it, but I wasn't really um, able to get an clear answer as what exactly availability zone in a GCP region is and how far apart they are. So that is quite an interesting take because when you are selecting a cloud provider, I believe that this should be another um, yardstick to select a cloud provider in terms of high availability and disaster recovery. The definition of what region in the cloud is different in AWS and at Google Cloud and Azure, and in also in other cloud providers such as Oracle, Alibaba. But this is very important. And why this is important? Because as I mentioned, this incident in Paris region took away the whole GCP region, which is very surprising and concerning too at the same time. At AWS, a region consists of three or more availability zones. One zone can be one or more data centers, physical data centers. Zones are at least 30 miles away from each other in AWS and usually no more than 60 miles to mitigate against local disasters like earthquakes, floods, extreme weather, etc. This means that if a data center has issues or even if a whole zone goes offline, the region continues to operate. So customers who operate in two or more zones within a region can keep operating in this region. It makes sense. And maybe that is one of the reasons people go to the cloud. And to be honest, I would expect the same from Google and Azure and other cloud providers. But on the other hand, Google Cloud as well as Azure is a lot more vague on what a region is. Well, surely they both say that how a region consists of multiple AZs or availability zones, but neither is clear on how separate a zone is. Neither guarantee geographic separation or even building separation. Both make it clear that zones are independent of one another, for example, power supply and networking, but nothing more. And I would really like more info on that. So if you have any information on that, please put it in the comments. Anyway, normally the difference is subtle as zones have some level of separation. Google Cloud, as I mentioned, has that incident about water intrusion in one of their data center impacting one zone in EU West 9, which is in Paris. So one would think that normally this would mean that only one zone would be impacted. But in this case, the whole region with several zones went offline. How did that happen? Is the whole region in one building without geographic separation and so could have water intrusion hit the whole building? Or was it a critical service operating in the zone impacted, took down the whole region? If so, why were zones interconnected so tightly? I wasn't able to find the answers. But this shows us that region is definitely something different concept in GCP or Azure than in AWS. So Google will have to provide a detailed information post-mortem to restore trust and explain how a problem in one data center can take a whole region down and what improvements they will do to avoid this in future. Again, if you're a decision maker on choosing cloud providers, I would strongly suggest and recommend you to pay close attention to the details on how the cloud provider is defining a region or a zone and make sure that you get a detailed information about the separation and high availability. I hope that this was useful and interesting. If you have any feedback, please put it in the comment section. Thank you.